Are we all ready? I think we are. Let's open up the right thingy. There we go. Hey everyone. Welcome to Explore the Beyond. Grip of the Fungal Queen, episode 4. Episode 4. It's very exciting. I hope you're all doing well. Let's be honest, you can't be doing much worse than the party are right now. If I move the camera slightly, you can just about see sort of what they're dealing with. Sort of. Yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing okay. I've had a day off. So for once, I'm not so extremely exhausted that my brain is functioning at like 75%. Today I'm thinking, oh, at least 76, 77. Oof. High numbers. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. So let's see if the group are talking and interrupt their conversation.
Coming up with a solution.
A solution
I
for
feel
what?
like there's definitely could be something there. Hello.
Hello.
A giant tree.
Oh, the giant tree, of course.
Yes.
The giant tree. Indeed, indeed. Which is 100 feet long, exactly. Can't quite see it because the chat's in the way, but it is, trust me. Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. This is a predicament you found yourselves in. So let's try and get out of this predicament. Burias, why don't you just give us a quick recap of what happened last week, and then we can get on to the I don't want to say TPK, but you know.
You've got to fill the rest of the session then after that, haven't you?
Well, you know, we'll just do a I'd think of something.
Right, we headed back towards. We were slightly turning around, so we headed back a different way on the cart with the other people, the traders, and that. We got ambushed by a few infected things. Unfortunately, Taran died. He was with the last guard. After that, we pushed on a bit, set up a camp, had a few arguments with traders, and then during the night, a dragonborn turns up to Alura called Nismo, who helped cure her corruption. Said that Malakir is after the world tree, and then in the morning when we wake up, was that during your sleep? Or was that? I can't remember if that was during the sleep. I think it was during the night time. During your watch, I think. And then we wake up and we split ways with the trader and the person in charge. His name's Steve or something. What's his name? Who's the guy in charge?
Owen, I'm pretty sure.
Owen. I don't know where Steve came from. Owen and the traders went one way, and we decided to go another way towards the world tree to try to stop it. Otherwise, it'd be like a long turnaround if we bother going to the town. We think we've been followed after a few hours, and then we get to this big log, and there's like fingertips and stuff all around, and loads of infested animals. It looks like.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yes. So the three of you currently are encircled on three sides by a huge log, 100 feet long, that has been, tree trunk, let's say, that's been recently felled. And all sorts of animals, creatures, and some that you keep losing sight of in the trees that are currently surrounding you to your right and behind in the direction you've just come. All of them not advancing, but not giving you much space. They're just kind of, well, there's what, like 40 feet maybe at this point since you moved slightly. 40 or 50 feet either way. And the tree that has been felled is still covered in these little fingers and like fingers and hands that are peeping over the top. And I believe you also called out for Nismo, but got no response.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Well, Grant is gonna not. He's just made not a quick decision, because how quicker did I make that? But yeah, he's gonna carry on using his torches to try and burn a path through the fungus to go around the left side of the tree.
Okay. You continue to burn a path, and you get to the far left side of the tree.
Okay.
And as you make it round, and I assume you're going to start sort of trying to sneak round. Hang on, let me just do something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push round because of what could be on the other side. I am gonna be cautious.
Okay. No, that's not going to be as easy as I was hoping. It's surprisingly difficult. Hang on. Oop. Alright, I have... There we go. There should now be a route around the left-hand side of the tree.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And as you start coming round, you can see that immediately on this first corner, there are at least 5 to half a dozen infected humanoids that are sort of pouring, essentially, like pouring at the top of the tree to try and climb over. Make a stealth check for me.
Okay. This
Just
for
you.
me isn't going to be like a stealth check to go out. I'm thinking more I see them and quickly try and retreat back.
This is a stealth check
Oh.
from you to see if you can beat their perception.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't. It's like the reasoning being that you're not expecting them there immediately, so sort of determining on how quickly you kind of go, oh shit, and recoil, Okay. You literally go, oh shit, and recoil back. Managing to avoid the gaze of the closest infected to you, who is still sort of reaching up, trying to climb itself over the top of the tree trunk. And if you're pulling back, then you pull back. But what you do notice is that all of the creatures that were surrounding you have now drifted closer. So now you're trapped with, oops, wrong button. With about 70 feet of tree trunk, 75 feet of tree trunk. But basically the only way to go is either past the tree trunk that you've got to, or to the left, or try and force your way through one of the wall of animals.
Okay. I'll turn back to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Tulip, and then kind of look over his shoulder at Alura, and just explain that. Trying to do it in a loud enough voice that they can both hear, but quiet enough that I feel like I'm not going to spook anything else.
Mm-hmm.
That there's more infected round the tree, and we either can push past them and try and make a run for it, or stand and fight, hoping they don't realize they can walk around the tree.
I mean, can we sneak past them?
Maybe.
Do you like throwing things? Can't you like throw something over the tree and then maybe they'll all look and we can just tiptoe past them?
We could give that a go.
Tulip, that's a
That-
really good idea.
Anything to avoid, dying.
Well, are you guys ready to give that a go? Because I may have something that might help us.
Sure.
Yeah. Go.
Uh, okay, so I'm gonna use, before I do anything else, pass without a trace
Mm-hmm.
on me, Tulip, and Alura,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna.
Um,
How
can
tall
you
is the tree?
can you highlight all three and cast that again?
Oh,
See if it goes on just you or the three of you.
hang on, it's run out of uses. Let me edit it and give me back another use.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter either way. It's just it'd be cool if it gave all three of you it automatically, so I don't have to remember.
Mm.
I don't see a way of adding it back. That's weird.
Hang on. Where would it be?
It gives them a spell slot back.
Or maybe does it come under your attributes?
It's
Because that's where like my channel divinity stuff is.
it's a spell, but normally I can just add one
Mm.
to it. This is saying that.
When you
Oh,
go
there
to
we go.
Okay.
It was hidden in the middle of the menu rather than at top.
Oh, no, it just gives it to you. That whole exercise essentially was pointless, but it was worth a try.
Never
Well, we
mind.
learned that doesn't work, so we don't have to do it again.
Exactly. Okay, so
Uh,
you all get plus 10 to your stealth rolls for the next hour.
Thank you.
Let's see. Can I do something for a bonus action? Because I realise that's probably not the best thing I could have done.
That are in turn order kind of thing, are we? Just...
Oh yeah, if we're not in turn order, then I suppose once that's done, I'll throw a dart over the tree, kind of this angle.
Mm-hmm.
How far can I throw my darts? That's
20 feet, I think.
yeah, 20 feet normal, 60 disadvantage.
So you throw at 60.
So it'd be 60 normal, 20 disadvantage. Oh.
No, it's 20 up to 20 feet without disadvantage, and then up to 60 feet with disadvantage.
Okay, well I'll probably try and throw it.
Yeah, you're
55
not trying to hit
feet.
anything specifically, just going in direction, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. 55 feet. Actually, 60 feet.
Okay. And you're just going to yeet this dart over, right?
Yeah.
All right. Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Imagine if he gets a nat 1 and it hits Tulip.
You say that, but that is the kind of cruel shit I would do.
Oh, that's lucky.
14. You just see Grant take one of the darts out and just sort of lob it overhand, and it arcs up and over the tree, and you just hear a ting, and it sounds like it is embedded in a tree on the other side. This first infected close by to you can see immediately has its attention is turned away. It doesn't move, but it stays like its attention's been diverted, basically. You're unsure about the others.
Well, you guys ready? Now's our chance.
Yeah, I'm sneaking.
Sneaky peeky.
Yeah.
All right
Yes.
then,
Sneak
Sneaking.
past.
go for it. Stealth checks then, please.
I have disadvantage with my armor, don't I?
Yep.
You guide yourself, though.
I can guide it to myself, I will.
With plus 10.
So, oh, I forgot. I need to just roll a d4 by itself.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, thank God. So 13 plus pass without a trace.
Yeah.
So okay, so those are some pretty good rolls. You've got 23, 30, and 26. 36. No, you've got your plus 10.
I had a 10
You added
already.
it. You added it. Nice.
I didn't, just to make things difficult for you.
It's okay. It's okay. I forgive you.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
So 26, 30, and 23. As the first infected is distracted, you start sneaking forwards, and as you kind of get through and past the log, past the tree trunk,
God.
you can see that there are potentially about a dozen infected, all facing, or like that were clearly quite trying to get their way over the tree, but now are all facing this tree trunk here. Oops, that's the wrong way. Never mind. Kind of interested, but not moving towards it. There are more than this as well, just for reference, because I think there's about like 9 there, but there's more.
Oh.
I just too many. But upon seeing them all distracted, you kind of mold your way around any obstacle you can, using it to your advantage. Even Alura, surprisingly deft on her feet for a change. You've never really seen her be quiet before while walking, and this is the first time. None of you leaving tracks, of course, just kind of getting through, past, and to apparent safety. Still burning a way through because the floor and trunks of the trees are now covered in mold and fungus before you.
You know how you said as we were burning our path, it was kind of regrowing behind us?
Yes.
How close to me is it that it's regrowing?
It's keeping about a 15-foot gap.
So it doesn't appear to be getting any closer.
Not currently, no.
Okay, that's fine. I'd like to keep an eye on that, just to make sure that, like, as we continue on, that it doesn't start getting closer and closer to us.
Seems fair. As the three of you now continue on with Grant burning a path forwards for the three of you. Make a survival check for me.
Survive. Oh my God.
Is your
I'm
dice
like,
rigged?
I don't know. That is like 13.
You're a little bit turned around. The world tree isn't currently visible with the canopy of the trees, blocking your vision of the sky. And you're also constantly aware of the fact that even though you've got past the tree trunk and you are uncornered essentially, you are also still being followed in the trees by all sorts of monkeys and avians, basically birds of all types, that are still hot on your heels, just in the air, not on the ground.
Okay, well, I've got 5 torches from when we started, so I will keep going until they've used up, and then most likely ask Tulip or Alura for any more, if more is needed, just to keep going.
Okay. Okay. Hang on.
So we've been going 5 hours up to this. No, was it 5? We've been a few hours, it said, up to this point. Like, probably
And
got
an
like
hour a
5
torch,
out.
so that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in like, I don't know, 5 hours time, it would probably be 8 hours traveling already.
Right. Staying on the same map, just for ease of use. What's the marching order for the three of you?
Grant first.
I think this is the order. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
if Alura wants to keep an eye on the back, I'm assuming she wouldn't have swapped places with Tulip. So
Okay. Alura, make a perception check for me.
Okie dokie. I'm also going to guidance this.
Yes. It's nice of you to finally roll well.
I know, right?
oh, nice.
Okay, so don't be alarmed by me revealing these. Because it's not an immediate encounter, it's just these are what are following you, right? So you've got creatures in the trees that are keeping a fair distance away. And then the swarm of bats, and I'm pretty sure I had other flying things in here somewhere, I just can't find them. The swarm of bats are like above you, quite far. So like 50 feet above you. So as a kind of reference of where they're stalking you from, I guess these would be above you as well, like we'll say 30 feet. Okay. So if you're on the ground walking, they are stalking you from that sort of distance.
Okay.
Okay. So continuing on, just like clearing the way as you go, and keeping an eye out, right? This is
I'm cowering a bit, being quiet.
Cowering a bit, sure, that makes sense. Allura, with your 24, these are the creatures that you can see following you.
Okay.
Like fairly consistently. We'll move them so they're actually on trees.
Okay. How about
and
any on the ground?
Nothing on the ground as yet. They seem to be either completely gone or following you from such a distance that you can't see them.
Okay.
But like the creatures that you can see, you're keeping a good eye on. You're able to. Why has that just moved? You're able to see them pretty well.
Okay.
Ugh. That's so annoying. So yeah. Please hold while I move the chat back to where it's supposed to be.
Oh no.
It's just moved and it's now in the middle of the bloody screen. Just move it to there. Got to refresh the page, I apologize. But so as you're walking, these creatures are continuing to stalk you, continuing to keep a fair distance. They're not invading your space and they're not making any moves to come in and kind of attack you in any way. But much like you are, they're able to see you at all times and you're able to see them. And judging from what you've seen so far, Allura, just Allura, make a wisdom check for me.
Okay, just straight.
Just straight check.
Can I guidance it?
Yeah.
Ability check.
Okay. It's a weird way of rolling that. Sure. Makes sense. 12. From what you've observed of behavior and of kind of your knowledge, actually couple that with an intelligence check as well for me.
Okie dokie.
So like this is from what you can perceive from them and what you can garner yourself, and also from what other knowledge you may have of other creatures and such.
Okay. I'm going to guidance this as well.
Yeah,
just 'cause
that's fine.
I know I have to say it. What the fuck?
14. Okay. Judging from your observations, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for. You've observed the creatures and observed previously infected creatures and beings, and you've seen how they behave, and they all seem to be in sync with each other. And from what you've read, however minimal, of other creatures and beings, it seems very hive mindish, almost like they're like you've already been told by Nismo that they're not necessarily dead, they're just being controlled, and that fits and suits well with other hive mind like beings that you've not met but read about in the past. Things like illithids, mind flayers, they control their thralls through the various means that you've read about but never want to experience. They are nasty creatures, and there are other creatures that are less documented but still exist, that through some kind of method of control, be it tadpoles for mind flayers or just straight up magic, they're able to control their subjects as a collective.
Okay.
You rolled a 14. No. Oh. Roll a perception check, everyone, please.
Just because I have to say it, I'm going to guidance it.
Okay, Grant's on a roll today.
Really is.
I'm prepared.
Grant, it's been a couple of hours since you left the camp, and I don't remember. It's been a couple of hours since you averted the tree. And as you're sort of keeping an eye out, like sort of passively but also intentionally, you see a bird flying in the sky, familiar looking, kind of copper colored, that when you previously saw it was flying erratically, and this time seems to be fairly consistent but keeping a fairly wide berth of berth of the kind of flying creatures around you already. That's not helpful. Let's just go for this. Just trying to find a token for it to like represent it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, what could I use? I'll have to use a hawk.
Shame you ain't got like a phoenix or something.
I know, right? It's up over here, I think. Yeah. It's tiny.
I can
But
barely see that.
I know. It really isn't much help with the representing, but it's there.
That's
I promise.
just how high it is from us. That's what you see.
Yeah, it's here. And it's sort of keeping up distance, but it is circling as well.
Okay. I'll look up to it every now and then, but I'm not gonna like call it out to the group just yet.
Okay.
I'm just gonna focus on pushing through. Obviously, now that I'm run out of torches, I'll be turning around and asking Tulip for torches.
Yes.
Was it in 5 hours?
Have you run out already?
If we've been traveling for 5 hours, yes.
What, 5 hours after the tree?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I thought you only said 2.
It's been a couple, but I mean, if you're still going to keep going, then eventually, like 3 hours and you'll run out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also you have to remember that it's getting to a point now where you need to start considering stopping for rest.
Mm. I was hoping we were gonna just keep going until we find a clearing to rest, but if that's not the case, that's not
Well,
good.
You're gonna have to, I guess. Got another few hours, and then I can torches, and then just see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose once mine's getting low then, and I do run out on my last one, we will decide on an area to rest, whether it be where we stop, if we fight, and whether or not we decide to stay there or carry on.
Yeah, or we don't rest.
That's
Go.
also a possibility.
Just keep going. If there's nowhere to sleep.
Then, yeah, for now, let's march on.
Sounds good.
Okay. I have lit up where the bird is
Nice.
so that you can see it. It's in that circle at the center.
Oh, behind the tree for me. I can't see it anyway.
You can see the light though, right?
There's nothing there.
Okay. Well,
Really?
Oh, wait. Yeah, no,
It's
sorry. It's
really
camouflaged
small.
in. It's very camouflaged in.
I'm trying, okay?
Can you not see it?
I could now, yeah. Especially
It's
you can
here.
highlight. You can highlight
Yeah.
things anyway. But it goes in with the ground, though.
Yeah, it's really not the greatest token. It's
I was
fine.
gonna say, how did you enlarge the wolf when you brought that out for now, or smaller the wolf?
How did I smallen it?
Well, I was just gonna say, can't you do a reverse on the copper bird?
There you go.
Perfect.
There we go.
So yeah, that's still circling, and as you're walking, kind of starting to consider resting, but also not decided fully. You keep going. Grant, eventually your last torch does run out.
Yep.
And every time you've had to light a new torch, the fungus starts to knit itself together. Like at the front, not necessarily at the back, quite quickly. So it's always a race to restart the fire and sort of bring it down to clear a path.
Okay.
In the time of traveling, everybody make nature checks for me, please.
And I'm going to guide it this.
Oh, hey, a decent roll. Hooray.
I'm getting them all out of my system.
Yes. Okay. Grant, there's two hairy moments while you're leading the party where the fungus is kind of level ground, or looks like it, and as you burn it away and take a step, it dips immediately into a pothole that you didn't get a chance to see. And make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Yay.
You'll be fine.
Of course.
The first time that this happens, you aren't quite quick enough. Your foot fits almost beautifully into the pothole, and you sling forwards. And as you fall, the torch kind of flies out of your hand and flies about 10 feet forwards. Tulip and Alura, you see that the torch fly forwards, and it clears a very thin path. And you also see Grant fly forwards as well. His foot's still stuck in this pothole. And as he falls, he kind of face plants the floor, getting a mouthful of dirt. Doesn't seem to be inhaling any spores. Doesn't seem to be affected by the fungus at the moment. But as he's collecting himself, you can see that the torch has flown ahead, so it's sort of about here, which is really helpful because there's no light there. So if I just put a light there, so it's flown forwards to about here, and the path that it cleared, however small, is already starting to close up.
That depends how much of a fresh one torch it is, I guess. We could always light another one, or...
Well,
We'll have to use another one to get to it anyway if it's going to close up that fast.
Yeah, okay.
are you going to try and rescue the torch, or are you going to leave it?
Up
Well,
to Grant.
Grant is still picking himself up off the floor. He gets up and turns to the other two. Cheers for catching me.
I wasn't sure if you were hiding from something really quickly.
And yet you stood up in the open still.
Well, the communication wasn't really there. So
I literally can't argue with that.
I'll get out a torch and give you another one, because by this time, surely.
Yeah, that torch has just been engulfed. Even with the flame still sort of flaming, the fungus kind of just engulfs the bottom and just continues until it peters out the flame and it dies.
I'm down to
Oh,
8.
God.
That was my last torch, guys, but thanks for this one, Tulip. Let's try and find somewhere decent, I guess, now where we can rest with this torch. Or at least defend ourselves.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, let's hurry up.
Because, by the looks of it, it only seems like there's a couple things following us now.
There is approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of things following us.
That's more than I realized.
But they're all pretty high.
Okay. That's a better chance of us surviving than what we had earlier.
Okay,
Definitely.
Let's just
It
go.
appears that there's nothing on the ground following us still.
Okay. And then, yeah, I will just turn around and focus on being more careful this time going forward.
All right. Being more careful. As this another time when the fungus has leveled out the ground, this time keeping your eye a bit more peeled, you nearly slip in but manage to avoid it, step round it, and crisis is averted. Another 2 hours pass of walking. You're all starting to get tired. You've been through 2 of Tulip's torches at this point.
Oh no.
Finally, the canopy clears slightly, and you're able to see the glow of the world tree off in the distance. You're slightly off course. Instead of heading directly towards it, you've veered slightly to the north. So again, if you look at the map, you are, instead of heading directly east towards it. You've started heading sort of northeast and are a little bit off target.
I still count that as a win.
I mean, yeah, you're not going, the complete wrong direction this time.
South.
Yeah.
So if the canopy's clearing, is there any place we could rest?
There doesn't seem to be anywhere better than anywhere else, if that makes sense. It's like you've got a bit of sky, so you can see the sky, which is quite nice. And it is dark at this point. It would be the logical time to sleep. But the fungus is still there. The creatures that have been following you are still there. And
guess we could make a big fire, maybe.
Yeah.
We haven't got any wood or anything for it though.
you're in a
There's
forest.
got to be wood around us.
Is it not all infected and stuff though?
Still burn, probably.
Apparently, I set myself on fire.
It's your torch.
Guys, I'm rare. I'm golden. Yes, we will.
I can make you green.
Ooh, mana fire.
Or blue. I can make you any color I want.
Tulip, that's our only option I can think of at this moment.
Yeah. Make a big enough fire, then hopefully it kills the stuff far enough away and scares it off. We've got to keep that fire going all night.
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't rain.
I'm a man of the ground, but I am kind of debating just setting a forest fire.
Well, we are in the forest, though.
That's what I mean. It will just burn everything then.
Yeah, but including us.
Yeah.
At least we won't be infected. It's a Hail Mary, but... No, let's start with Tulip's idea and then find
Yeah,
a god to
I'll,
pray to later.
I'll help look for firewood and stuff.
So I guess if we keep walking on with your torch for a bit, we can pick up as we burn away.
Yes,
Mhm.
Tulip.
Or we don't have to waste. This is me thinking. Don't worry. Right, let's get some wood.
Tulip can have the same thought.
Okay. Yeah, let's pick up wood as we go, rather than having to get more torches to separate out to find wood to come back together, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good.
A big pile of stuff in the middle.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, about half an hour, 45 minutes of just collecting wood as you're going, just passively.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is still a little bit covered in fungus, so it's shake it off, making Taylor Swift, shake it off. And others are just completely clean. By the time you decide to make camp, you do have a fairly chunky supply of wood. As you can see, you now have a camp.
Oh.
Yay!
God, we did well at building this.
Right? And then, even better, look, you have a torch. You have a fire.
Nice.
It's me, because I glow.
It's not you. You don't glow.
Oh, I got demoted.
You don't get to glow anymore. You notice that the bird that's been following you just kind of takes a perch on the top of one of the tents and keeps an eye out, basically.
Okay, is it still glowing though?
The bird was never glowing. That was just me showing you where it was.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like the feature of the bird. It glow.
No. That was just me needing a way to show you where it was before I made it big.
Okay.
Does that big fire keep a big clear area then?
It seems so, yeah.
Big enough to put the tents up and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So far.
And we'll be smart enough to keep some spare wood to keep it fed through the night.
Well.
Yes.
Tulip, make an intelligence check for me.
Why me?
I would say Grant and Alura would be, but would Tulip just want to put all the wood on?
Tulip.
Mm-hmm.
Because you asked a pertinent question, you spend a little bit of time kind of thinking, I wonder if this fire will keep the fungus away. And a little thought pops into your head that maybe it's not necessarily the fire, but radiated heat might also come into it.
Oh. Okay.
So there's potentially some kind of sweet spot between like your body temperature, which seems to incubate, and then flame or something around that temperature, which seems to dispel.
Okay.
Which for you is a like incredible thought.
Yeah. So now I'm feeling extra smart.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, what if I was to heat up some stones and put them around the camp? Some hot stones. But then how would I move them? With his hands, probably. Nah.
I feel like that would be a very Tulip thing to do.
Yeah.
This massive brainwave, and then pick up hot rocks.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that big heat thing we've got then is probably also revealing, hopefully, some more wood around the place that we could maybe top the fire up on top if we need to.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of brush and twigs and stuff you can salvage to add to it.
Equally, I would share my brainwave with everyone, but I'm not sure if it's right or not. You know?
Oh.
It's like, that might be right, but I don't want to be stupid.
Grant's just looking at Tulip, thinking, "Does he need to go to the loo? He seems constipated."
So, who's gonna watch first? Who wants to sleep?
I'll watch first.
Okay.
If Tulip needs sleep or anything, I'll quite happily go second.
Well, we all should probably get the same amount of sleep.
We do, don't we?
Well,
Yeah.
as it's just the three of us, we will have to do. Is it an hour extra? Hour and a half
If we do
extra?
3-hour watches,
Yeah.
then we end up spending 9 hours, but I think we could get the rest. If it's 6 hours rest, then over 8-9 hours. Whatever.
Oops.
So 3 hours each, I guess. Okay, well, I'm just gonna eat some rations because I don't feel like cooking. And then I'll just get into a tent or something.
All right. Okay. Were you taking watch first?
Yes.
Okay. Roll a perception check. And is there anything you wish to do for your watch?
With the way things have been going, no, I'm just going to make sure the fire's stoked and just keep an eye out.
Okay. So just
I'm not going to do anything special.
Okay, roll your perception then. Bring back those 13s, eh?
I know.
All right. So with a 9, that starling does stick around for a while, but then does sort of sneak off. About 2 hours into your shift, sneaks away, doesn't seem to come back as far as you're aware. Other than that, nothing else.
Okay. I will go to wherever Alura has gone to rest and give her a kind of tap on her shoulder to see if I can wake her up.
Okay. You wake her up, and it's her turn to watch.
I'll let her know that that copper bird has vanished
Okay.
and that it was quiet for the rest of the night.
Okay, cool.
All right. As you step out of your tent, ready for action, ready for your shift. Anything you'd like to do?
Because I remember there being about 5 different groups of creatures following us. I'd like to try and see if I can spot all 5.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also very aware that it's dark and I might just not be able to see them.
Cool. Roll a perception for me just for that.
Okie dokie. With guidance.
Of course. Nice.
Beautiful.
You see... Whoops. Nope, don't do that. 1 creature. 2
Fab.
creature.
Oh, okay, nice.
And that's it. See
Okie dokie.
2 of them.
Is it the monkeys, the bats, the birds?
2 monkeys.
Cool.
Just chilling. Right over you. Right over your camp. But just chilling. Making no sound, just staring.
Okie dokie.
Make another perception check for me for your general watch.
Okie dokie. Plus guidance, of course.
But of course.
But of course.
Well,
Oh, that's a bit better.
I mean, imagine rolling that the first time.
I know, right?
A performance
I
check
see
first
everything.
time.
Did
You
I?
did performance,
Oh shit,
you
I
fool.
did. How did I do that?
Because you saw PER
Yeah.
and
Not
autopiloted.
gonna lie, yeah.
Yeah. And it's right on
I'll
top
keep
of the
it.
other. You sure?
Unless you want me to roll perception and it's lower.
No, you can own your mistake, it's fine.
No, I'll keep it.
Sure.
I rolled what I rolled.
You rolled what you rolled. All right. For the rest of your watch, after making a performance of looking out for the others, like the creatures, being proper like dramatic, just going, I see you up there.
I'll point at them, be
yes.
like, I see you.
For the rest of your watch, you keep an eye on those 2 as best you can. They don't move. It's kind of eerie. They're literally just like statues, perched on branches, feet and hands grabbing hold, and they're just motionless, eyes dead. It looks like dead eyes, just fixated.
Okay.
About an hour and a half in, you hear squawks. And fluttering. But there's no obvious indication as to what this could be because it's dark. So you don't really get a chance to see what's happening. But then...
Can I tell where it's coming from?
Off in this direction.
Okay.
Sort of left of the camp.
Okay.
And then that copper starling reappears. It's definitely a starling, not a hawk. Reappears, perches itself back on this tent. Looks from left to right. And then flies up and disappears. You lose sight of it. It's so small in the dark, especially.
Yeah.
That you lose sight. The rest of your watch passes by quietly. That's still like almost deafening feeling of being watched.
Mm-hmm.
Never seems to leave you. Even when it gets to the end of your shift and you're back in your tent, it just kind of lingers over you like a bad smell.
Okay.
Tulip. Alura wakes you up at the end of her watch.
Okay. Feeling a bit more refreshed.
A bit more refreshed. That's good. That's good.
Definitely helpful.
Anything you'd like to do during your watch?
Am I still unwell?
Feeling a little bit unwell, yeah. Still got that kind of icky feeling in your tummy.
How far out? So I want to test my theory because I've been thinking about it. I got to sleep eventually, but I was thinking about the heat thing.
Mm-hmm.
How far out does the it go?
So, as a reference point, about 30 feet, give or take.
Okay. And if I was to stand right at the edge, I'd still be close enough to the fire and that kind of stuff, right?
It's not like an immediate stop. So it's not like, you get to the edge of the radius and it just stops. It is kind of, especially right at the edge, it is a little bit veiny, a little bit sort of reaching for threads. Make an investigation check for me, though, please.
Okay. So I'll probably get for where it starts to like reappear slightly.
Ooh, close. 15. Another thing you notice upon further inspection is that the trees that are within the heat radius also are cleared. So it doesn't seem to just work outwardly, it also seems to work vertically.
Okay, cool.
So there's verticality to this too.
Okay, so there's the proximity to heat. So my scientific investigation is going to be, I'm going to pee on some of it.
Okay. Some of the fungus outside the radius.
Well, I'm not. Well, where I see any fungus that's close to or outside, without getting outside myself. Because that'd be warm, and it's not a light. So if I'm right, then I can tell everyone else that pee works.
All right.
I love Tulip's way of thinking.
You start peeing on the fungus. And it doesn't seem to be warm enough to have an effect on the fungus, it seems.
Oh yeah, because the body's heat. Okay. I needed to pee anyway, so that's okay.
I mean, testing a theory while also, making the most of it.
I'll probably just keep the campfire stocked up for the rest of the night.
Okay. Makes sense.
Keep an eye out, obviously.
Make a perception check for me.
I'm also going to look a bit more sure of myself, puff my chest out a bit and look around. Okay. What am I doing? Perception.
Your watch is spent in a minor sense of euphoria, I guess, at just how smart you are. It distracts you a little bit from actually looking out and keeping an eye on for any attacks or anything untoward. But it does, you know, you do feel good, at least. You've got your chest puffed out, you're sort of just feeling smart.
No one's going to mess with us right now.
Exactly. The night passes, turns to day.
Wakey.
Do you all wake up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Time to wake up. All right. As you all wake up, what's your name? Alura, you are fully aware of the two monkeys still sat like statues in the trees. And now that there's light again, you can see one in a tree that you can't... oh, you can just about see it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like here. And also
Okay.
next to it, behind your tent, basically.
Okay.
But you can't see the swarm, like the big horde of bats that was flying around all day yesterday.
Okay.
All of you, you do, however, see on this tent here the distinctly unmistakable signs of like straight lines of blood, apparently, because it won't squiggle, just like claw prints, I guess, just like here. Not much, but enough to cause a bit of concern, perhaps.
Are they quite big, quite small?
Small, but there's quite a few of them.
Okay.
In the shape of like birds' feet.
Oh, okay.
Now, has Alura mentioned, or can we just all also see the creatures that are around?
Alura would have pointed them out. If not already, then definitely this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been with us the whole time now.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to Tulip. Tulip, how many of them berries do you have left?
Let me have a look. 4.
Can I have 1 or 2?
Well, which is it?
Fine. I'll have 1.
Okay, you can have 1, but if you eat it, you might. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a bit funny.
They're not for eating, my friend. They're for an experiment.
Well, we can do both, but okay.
So, I'm gonna go over to this side and see if I can pin it. This monkey, or this infected creature, and I'm gonna, if allowed, stab 2 of my blow dart needles into the berry and try and soak the juices all around the needles.
All right.
So it's a very rudimentary way of covering them in these berry juice.
Straight from the source. Makes sense.
And then I'm gonna depending on how fast I can fire this blowgun, hopefully fire both of them at the creature. I will do it one at a time though, if you want.
Okay. Yeah, just roll your attacks.
Yeah, perfect. About right with this.
The first one misses, the second one hits.
Okay. You want to see it do its damage, or do we know?
Yeah, do its damage. Do the damage.
1 + 1. Max
Yeah.
damage.
Hell yeah!
Never get lower than that.
Roll another d4 for me.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. So, you fire off the first dart, and it just shoots up over the tree, misses completely. Or over into the tree and misses completely. The second one, however, catches it right in its neck, where you would imagine some form of major artery would be. And there's a second where it doesn't react. It just sits there, still staring at you. And then it starts to shake. Like, literally just starts shaking uncontrollably. Starts screaming and shouting at the top of its lungs, making an awful racket. And before you know it, it flings itself off the tree down onto the ground next to you,
Yeah.
flinging its arms wildly. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you managed to dive out of the way of its like flailing hands, avoiding like nails that are disgusting and chipped and all sorts that could potentially transmit spores and anything like that. And it just kind of almost dancing around finds its way into the fire and just erupts into flames immediately.
Oh, it smells.
It smells.
Yes. Stand back, Tulip. Good idea.
Oh. Hmm. So I was thinking it might be more the heat than the fire, but the fire seemed to work pretty well as well.
Well, anything that jumps into fire ain't gonna survive very well.
Except a cooking pot monster.
I love it.
Yep. Okay. Tulip, sometimes you're a genius and other times I question your genius.
Thanks.
It's alright. Keep hold of them berries. They actually may come in useful.
Well, we could look for some more on the way, maybe, because if we burn stuff away and there's some berries there or flowers, and
Do
maybe
you
we can get them.
remember what they look like? Because you were the one that picked them originally.
Well, they're here
I
in
mean,
my hand.
okay. Fair enough, Tulip.
And he questions me, Alura.
Just like, where'd that come from?
Right, let's get out of here.
Yes. Do you want me to lead still, Tulip, or are you happy leading as you now have the majority of torches?
I've got 7 left. I can lead. I probably won't fall in any holes.
Yes. Watch out for them. The ground isn't as even as it seems.
Can we see the world tree through the canopy here, or is it too dark?
Currently too dark. Or too covered.
Okay.
But we know which way it was based off the way
Okay.
we were heading before, right?
Yeah, as far as you're aware, you just continue heading in that same direction.
Okay, cool.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna... I'm pretty sure the dog's asleep, but his eyes are wide open. I'll leave him. He'll be fine. Yeah, so you keep heading off in the same direction. Tulip, using the same technique as Grant the day before, sort of holding the torch in front of you to clear a path. Make a survival check for me.
Easy. Oh, +2.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay so far.
Well,
Until combat.
until you said that, and now. Your navigation skills aren't that surprising. You've spent a lot of time out in the wild. You remember which way you're supposed to be going, and you head off in that direction. Your muscle mass and muscle strength allows you to hold the torch out in front of you for prolonged periods without a problem. There's no risk of any pain or harm coming to you that way. And the first hour passes, flies by. The torch dies.
Okay, 6 left.
The second hour passes, no problems, torch dies. Alura, the whole time you've been
Yes.
walking this morning,
Mhm.
the 3 creatures that were following you yesterday that are left
Mhm.
are still following you.
Okay.
They didn't react to their companion just seppukuing into a fire. Just going about their day in the same way they were previously.
Okay. Since Grant is in front of me, I'll just let him know that they're still following us and they don't seem to be phased by anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll carry on keeping watch at the back.
Okay. As you continue to watch and as Tulip continues to lead, the day drags on. Hello. The day drags on, and for the longest time, it just gets repetitive. It's a bit boring, you know. Hold the torch out, burn the fungus away. Hold the torch out, burn the fungus away. It's nothing of interest. Like, it gets a bit boring. Whole sense of security sort of kicks in. But then, 4 hours into the day, starting to get to the end of Tulip's penultimate torch. Make a perception check, Tulip. Oh, just be 2 seconds.
No modifiers, 19. Love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Tulip was the right choice to lead us today.
Always.
Born to
Right.
lead.
On to lead.
How's your flower doing as well?
Died last time, didn't it? At the end, I think.
Oh, I forgot.
So, yeah.
Who died?
Oh.
Yeah,
Tulip's flower.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gotta find a
I
new
can
one.
hear your fan.
You can hear my fan?
I heard. Not now.
It
Yeah,
did
it's
sound
on
like
now.
a fan though.
Turn it away. Hopefully it won't be too bad.
We can't hear it now.
That's all right then. Yeah, as you make your perception check with a 19, you become acutely aware of more than just the 3 creatures that have been following you for the last 2 days, somewhere in your vicinity. It takes a while for them to start revealing themselves, but eventually, to your left, there are 2 elks, essentially, that have just been completely consumed by fungus. And then behind you, Jupiter, behind you, a wolf and a black bear that are just... The black bear seems to still be a little bit intact, only seems to have recently been corrupted, but the wolf is just... It's twice as thick as it used to be, just from fungus alone. And then on your right is a brown bear, giant. Compared to the black bear especially, is huge. And they just kind of slowly reveal themselves. Making sure that, not to approach necessarily, but to make sure that their presence is known.
Okay. I think that's the ones on the ground then. And I'll point out what I see.
And then
amazing.
Ahead of you, Tulip,
Huh?
you see a some kind of 4-legged creature, potentially a wolf, but more feline, perhaps like a leopard or something, that then comes out in front of you so that you can see it clearer, and then just morphs into the decayed form of Malakir.
Ooh.
You've evaded me for a long time.
A long...
You've made it
I
an
thought-
extra day.
Okay. What's he talking about, Grant?
I think he wants us to be infected as well.
Oh.
And that's bad, so...
Yeah, no thank you.
Are you sure? You'd make such good servants for her.
Tell
You
him we
wanna be a
like our
servant.
minds.
He just starts circling.
I'm gonna keep going then. Walks away.
Okay.
Do-do-do.
Yeah, that's fine. Keep going.
I mean,
Well.
yeah. Just gonna pretty much rotate as I walk in whatever direction he is in at the moment.
Okay. If you stay there for a second. Go away, pop up. Go, pop up, stop. Right. Whoops, I moved that in the wrong place. Oh, damn it. Well, that is supposed to be over the 3 of you, but I clicked in the wrong spot. So, just for my own peace of mind, I'm just going to move you into the fog cloud.
Like, guys, look at that fog. We somehow dodged it.
You hear him mutter a spell, and are the 3 of you watching him, or are you just like ignoring him and continuing on?
I would be watching with my weapon drawn in case
I would be watching.
Yeah, okay.
he like runs at me.
For the 2 of you who are watching, not necessarily Tulip, who's
Yeah, I'm
just
carrying on.
petulantly carrying on. You hear him like cast a spell, semantic verbal components, and just suddenly he just pops his hand out flat and just breathes, almost like blowing a kiss. But as he breathes, emanating from his hand is this fog cloud, and it spreads around you, engulfing the three of you completely. And he just sort of says, he just tuts. So petulant. So disrespectful. And as he's speaking now, the voice seems to be coming from all angles, all around you. Like one word will come from the left, but another word will come from the right. And then the next word comes from behind. And then in front. You should just give in. Allow her to take you in her embrace. Your happiness would be assured.
Pretty happy right now. Well, I've been happier.
All of a sudden, Tulip, as you say, I've been happier. Just almost like a whisper in your ear. She could give you that happiness back. And then disappears.
Grant, I don't like this one.
Ignore him, Tulip. He's playing mind games. Wherever he says his lies, don't listen.
Yeah. Who wants to be a servant anyway? If he was...
Yeah.
Why isn't he just his own person, you know?
That's because he's not a servant. From the looks of it and what we've seen, that you don't even get a choice. Could you imagine not being able to choose what flower you get to put in your pocket?
Yeah. So, if we're going to hide in this cloud? Or should we just keep going?
He
The three of you make a perception check while you're having that quick conversation.
Do we get disadvantage in the fog cloud, or is it...
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm going to guidance too.
Okay. Alura, you are the only one to hear the muttering before there's just a loud explosion and just cacophony of noise. I need all of you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Straight roll, yeah?
Straight roll.
Oh, you bitch.
Wow.
13.
13?
Well, 16.
I was going to
I
say.
rolled a 13, so.
You're back on
My
your
lucky
13
number
train.
today.
Tulip and Grant, you succeed. Alura, you do not.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alura, you take 8 points of thunder damage. Grant and Tulip, you take 4.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Tulip, you are also thrown 10 feet back.
Alura?
Alura, sorry. You are thrown 10 feet back and out of the fog. Your small stature doesn't allow you to get a good enough footing for you to hold on, and then you are just blasted backwards as soon as the thunder wave hits you. Almost as soon as you are released from the cloud, one of the monkeys, the baboon that's been following you, just jumps down and starts mauling at you. So, and by mauling, I mean tries to bite you. Does a 10 hit?
Game's paused for us.
No.
No. So,
What's your rolls unless you're hiding them on purpose?
I'm not trying to do it on purpose, but that was a 10, so I missed.
No, that's fine.
Okay. And with that, I need you to all roll initiative, please.
Oh God.
Good job, Grant. Good job, Grant. I'm so proud.
Oh.
Have your agility and all?
Hmm?
Oh, right, you didn't have as high agility as strength, did you?
No.
All right. Dum. All right. Again, it's the baboon's turn. It's going to go in for another bite on you, Alura. 14.
No.
Great. It sort of gnashes its teeth at you, growling, and its saliva is basically just like dust at this point. It's pretty gross. This wolf, how much movement does it have? 40 feet. It can get to you. Nice. Kaboom.
Oh, damn.
It's going to come in for a bite attack, and it'll have advantage because it has pack tactics. But it's okay because 12 doesn't hit.
Oh, thank God I took the armor.
Again, it kind of comes in at you, gnashes, like goes to take a big chunk out of you. You manage to just bop it away with your shield. No harm done. Tulip.
Boop the snoot.
Boop the snoot. It's your turn. However, you're not entirely sure what's going on.
Well, I could probably hear some things gnashing and maybe
You can-
Alura
you can-
getting
You can
filled
hear
up and
growling,
stuff.
you just can't necessarily see it.
So I would go in a direction, guess of the gnashing, because I would be aware that Laura got pushed out by the spell, I guess.
No, because you can't see.
Okay.
He'd be able to see Grant right beside him, right?
Just about.
Yeah, but not me because I was the other side of Grant.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like there's combat going on, right? Would I say?
Yeah. You can hear the growling and snapping of teeth and jaws.
Okay. So I'd probably be like curious about what's going on, and I'd like see Grant there, and I'd keep going through. I'd notice Alura, I guess, isn't where she was, and I keep going towards where the fight was. So 5, 10, 15. Is that outside?
It's just on the border. You can poke your head out.
Okay. And I'll see two things like trying to bite Alura, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd see the other things nearby as well.
Yes.
Resign myself to having to get angry, I think.
Oh.
It's been a build-up.
Rage, yeah.
It's been a hell of a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you'll get your D6, don't forget.
Oh, thank you, yes.
And I'm just going to swing at the first thing I see, which is the one in front of me. Am I going to... Yeah, we're going to go reckless. Why not? Who cares?
Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll go reckless, but I won't do the 10 because I don't know how tough these things are anyway. Have I killed these? We killed these things before? Were they quite hardy?
You've not faced the monkeys at least.
But the wolf, we've seen some wolves and some bears, but I don't know. Okay, I'll just go for reckless on this one. Which gives me advantage. Then I'll do damage. I don't.
Just go shing straight through and just bifurcate the thing.
Oh, nice. My bonus attack hit is only if I crit, right? I don't get it if I kill something, I don't think.
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay. That's a shame. Yeah, savage axe crit. Okay, in that case, I am going to do nothing else because that's, I believe, is everything. But, oh yeah, I was about to shout something out, but I won't talk out anything, I'll just grunt.
Okay.
And
All right. That's a wrong button. It's a 30 feet movement. So he's just gonna this monkey's gonna dive to this tree across the way, and then jump down to you, Tulip, and is gonna kind of pop itself there, sort of hanging on to the tree, but is still gonna come in for a bite. Again, it gets advantage because of pack tactics.
I'm rolling this anyway. I'm reckless, sorry.
Oh, and reckless, yeah. 17 hits, I think.
Yep.
And you take a staggering 2 points of piercing damage.
Half to 1.
Halved to 1. Absolutely monumental damage there. Right. Yes, you can do that.
Don't charge me.
It's going to charge you. Comes, like, sort of gets itself ready and then just charges at you. And, like, the speed at which this thing moves is outrageous. It's just so light on its feet. I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Oh.
You're okay. You're fine. Okay, so you take that damage, and you take this damage. I have to roll the attack, even though... Actually, no, I have to roll the attack, 24.
Yep.
That's how combat works. You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage halved to 6.
Okay, so the charge is charge damage and there's
Yes.
damage.
It's
Half
like-
damage to 5 and half damage to 8 then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Well, combine it, so it's 6.
Oh, I don't know what I did. It would be 6 anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, it's still be 6, either way, it's fine.
Roughly, yeah.
It comes in and it manages to, but you avoid the antlers, so you don't get hit by any of the antlers, but you still get a solid clump from the top of its head, which is surprisingly thick and sturdy, and it hurts.
Okay.
Both of you are still on your feet. Alura.
I am going to summon my magical frying pan.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. Please hold while I find your magical frying pan.
Thank you.
There you go. You can move it where you wish.
Perfect, thank you. So I'd probably have it here.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
And then I'll make the attack roll against this. Is it the wolf?
The wolf.
The wolf, yes. So that is a d20 plus 5, is it not?
It is. You're learning. Hooray.
I'm learning! Beautiful!
10
Does a 10 hit?
misses.
God damn.
So close.
And that is all I can do. So
Can you attack as well?
I did. I've missed.
No, you attack.
You can attack with the with yourself.
Because that's a bonus
I?
action
Yeah.
to the spiritual weapon, so you could attack. If you've got a melee weapon, I'm guessing you probably do. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, got my mace.
You got your mace.
Yeah.
I'll try and bonk it with my mace then.
Bonk it with your mace then.
Bonk it with the mace. Attack. Normal. No.
No, you missed.
It's a slippery little wolf.
It's doing well. It's dodging and weaving. Manages to avoid being hit by the frying pan, and also manages to avoid being hit by the mace. It's a true demonstration of dexterity. This elk is gonna come into there. Not there. There. Because that's all it can move. The bear. 40 feet. Can get there. Nice. For me. Because I could actually do things. Right. This bear. Ooh, nasty. It's going to hit. It's going to come after Alura with its claws. 15 hit misses?
Misses.
Misses. Then it's also going to come after you with its bite. And 9 misses, I guess.
Yes.
Great. So cool. So cool. The ape is going to jump across to this tree. And then it's actually going to try and jump and land on Alura. So make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh no, not a Harambe.
No.
The ape jumps and you don't quite look up in time as you're still focusing on trying to hit the wolf with your mace. And suddenly there's just this massive ape gorilla thing just like lumbering down from 30 feet ahead of you, on top of you. And as it comes down, it's gonna... Actually, no. Ignore that one. It's gonna fling itself like this rock. I'm gonna use this as an example.
Oh my god.
So there's the d6 from just it, so that's 8 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 3d6 falling damage. So you take 15 points of bludgeoning, and so does it.
Wait, so do I take 15 as well as the 8?
Yes.
Okay, hang on.
But so
I
did...
can't do maths in my head.
So it'd be 23.
23. So... Okay, I don't think I'm dead, but I'm definitely out cold.
Out conscious.
Out conscious. I'm definitely unconscious.
Mm-hmm. No, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think I'm 3 short. No, it's 3 short.
It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't...
Totally.
It's fine.
So I would lose my spiritual weapon as well, would I not?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. That's the ape's turn. It's now the brown bear's turn. And he's going to come round this way. Kind of trying to stay out of the fog, but not also be able to get through to Tulip. Grant, it's your turn at last.
Yes, and apparently Valhalla's breaking loose and I can't see any of it.
You can't see any of it. You can hear it. You can hear, like, growling, roaring, grunting, and, like, just as the...
What was the loudest noise out of all of them?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say the most distinctive one that you seem to just recognize immediately is the one of an ape jumping from 30 feet off a tree and landing on your small friend.
Okay, it's weird that I would recognize that as a sound, but I'll take it.
That's so strange. So strange.
It's so specific as well.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna, as my action, yeet my trident at it
Okay.
while still in the fog. So whether or not you want me to roll a certain way.
Oh, you're rolling with disadvantage.
Yeah, of course I am.
Mm-hmm. That hits.
Oh wow.
I know. I'm as surprised as you are.
What does it roll for being thrown? It's a.
It's the same. So it'd just be the.
Oh, okay. No, it's a 1d6 plus 4. Versatile is 1d8.
Yeah.
Okay. So this should just hopefully roll.
Great.
Great.
You know, your darts
My
what
luck.
roll. Oh, actually, that works out quite well. So, in the split second of hearing the distinctive but unusual sound of a giant ape falling or jumping from a tree 30 feet in the air and splatting your very small friend, you then hear the also very distinctive sound of your trident whistling through the air, through the fog, and then impacting into the chest of this ape that's just squashed your small friend and just killing it dead. I know.
I feel my trident drop because you remember I tied a rudimentary rope to the end of it. So whether or not that stayed, considering we're not in the 50-foot range of a rope.
Well, it's
How like
you felt the impact, and then
Okay.
you felt like you'd have noticed that it fell over. You won't necessarily know why or what happened, but
okay. Do I recognize where the next? No, screw it. I'm gonna move out here. And this very, very sad berry I kept that I shoved 2 bowgun needles in.
mm-hmm.
Is there enough juice to get out to shove rubber dart in it?
You could probably
Oh, wait.
squeeze enough for one more.
Can I do my bonus action with the darts? Or does it have to be the blowgun?
I think it's an action.
Yeah, it has to be the blowgun. Okay, I'll do it with the blowgun for a bonus action.
Okay.
And I will then fire that dart at this elk that's closest to me.
Okay, roll to attack.
Come on.
Ooh, nice.
I like that.
Beautiful.
So we're doubling it.
We're doubling the 1d plus 1 for 4.
That's
No,
4.
for 3. Hooray!
Wait.
Because you only double dice.
Oh, okay.
So 3 damage. Very nice. Roll a d4 for me. 3. Hooray! It gets doubled. Hooray! 6.
Yeah?
Hooray!
Oh. I think that's the most a dart has ever done. Well, blowgun. Keep calling it a dart, it's just a needle. Do I see anything happen to the elk apart from it enter it?
Not right now. Just because of
Okay.
the fact it's combat. I'm gonna put that there just so I remember.
How much is my movement actually? 40 feet. So,
Yeah, you've got 25 left.
I will move to the elk
Okay.
and end my turn there.
Okay, you're dead. The wolf is going to attack Tulip because Alura's down. Still with advantage. Oh, 23. 7 points of piercing damage. Halved to 3.
Damage. Saving throw.
Yes, please. the wolf goes for a bite, and you manage to get your arm in the way, and it starts trying to rag at your arm and try and, pull it away and do some damage, but you manage to hold your ground pretty well so far. Tulip, it's your turn.
What looks the most dangerous in front of me?
From what you've seen, the bear and the elk, maybe. The wolf seems fairly... It's still dangerous, but less so at the moment.
Okay. I'll go for the bear. I'll go reckless again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do the -5 to do 10 more damage. If I hit.
Okay, go for it. 21. That's not the right stat block. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
That just hits. Its armor class is 11.
Oh no, it was 21, so it'd be 16 then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not -10. It's plus 10
-5.
damage, -5 to hit. I get that mixed up every time.
I would say that'd be a really bad trade-off.
Oh, 2, but the +10. I've added the 10 to it already.
Sure. So 18. Roll a d4 for me.
Ugh.
Never mind. So you describe your strikes for me. What do they look like?
Just raged induced. I guess it's a big reckless one, so it's more of a... I don't think I've even noticed that Alura's gone down, to be honest with you. But I've just looked at the biggest threat in front, and then it's just like big overhand smash.
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously then it leaves me kind of open to other things around.
Okay.
Got no bonus action punch, can I?
Just give it a good bonk.
Yeah. Otherwise I've got no other bonus actions, I don't think, really.
Okay.
That's me done.
All right. It is now the baboon's turn. Don't worry, I'd forgotten it was there too.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can I use my D6? Oh, it's a bit late now, isn't it? I had the D6 I didn't use on the first attack.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to use that instead, is it too late?
Oof. That's an attack on you, Tulip.
It is indeed.
And that makes it 2 piercing damage.
Oh.
Savage.
So is it too late to go back, or is it done now?
It's too late to go back on that one, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
If it
okay.
helps, I'd also forgotten about it. So,
Yeah. Oh, well.
I think we all did, because you've just reminded me as well. We're so good at this.
I usually use it first time, so I don't have to remember, but I was like, I'll save it for something bigger, maybe.
it's okay. It's like the third time you've used it, so still getting used to it. The elk. Grant, it takes a second for the elk to kind of acknowledge that you shot a dart into it. But much in the same way as the monkey this morning, it just starts shaking.
Ooh. Is it a sort of shake that I notice because of the monkey, or is it just...
You
so
notice
fast
because you're
that-
looking for it.
Okay.
But this time it seems to hold off just at the shaking. And then, sort of turns towards you.
No, I'm not here. Go away.
And then it's going to make a hoof attack against you. And it's going to miss. The second elk.
Do you not want me to do like death throws or anything?
You know what? Yes, please. Because I'd forgotten. I was just like, oh,
I'm
that
assuming
one's...
just normal.
Yeah, you just have to, do that, and you're fine. Success. Nice.
Phew.
Sigh of relief.
Big sigh of relief.
The second elk stalks its way round to you, Grant, and is also going to hoof you.
Oh.
But it's okay, because 10 misses.
Surprisingly.
Great. The bear, the black bear, is going to claw at you, Tulip,
Mm-hmm.
for 15.
Just missed. I'm 16 actually.
Oof. It's close. Oh my god.
He's crit the bite though.
And then just crit the bite, because, you know, he needs health, right? That is 4 points of piercing damage. Make a con save for me, please.
Uh-huh.
17. You're fine.
Okay, good.
This bite also comes in on the other arm, so like just as soon as you've got rid of the wolf, the bear comes in, misses with its claw, but then bites down on your other arm, and you have to sort of give it a few punches to the gut to get rid of it.
And it takes 2 damage, by any chance?
Afraid not.
Okay.
They're distraction punches.
Okay.
The brown bear you lose sight of as it disappears into the fog. Grant.
Okay. Well, 2 elk on me now. My trident's still somewhere.
You've got attached to a rope, haven't you?
Yeah, but I didn't pull it back in. I felt like that was going to be like an action or something. I don't know if you were letting me pull it back in or not.
I mean, I'm not going to be the dick that's like, oh yeah, you can certainly try, and then as you're pulling it in, I'm like, yeah, well, that's your action used up.
Oh, okay. Well, if I've got it, I've got it, and I can do something. I'm gonna... What do I do with... Where is it? I am gonna thrust it into this first elk.
That one. Okay.
Yeah, that tried to attack me. But I'm not gonna thrust it and keep hold. I'm gonna thrust it and let go.
Okay. 14 hits.
Ooh. Because I'm holding it with both hands is
Versatile, yeah.
then? Oh. Great.
Dude. Again, you'll be pleased to
My
hear
rolls.
that it also only had 5 hit points left. But
Oh, thank God.
that's not going to happen again. So describe the thrust of the trident for me.
I'm so just focused on defending the group, not knowing what else is going on because I've not seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
I grab it with it kind of tied from the rope around my wrist, and I lunge up through its chin, through its head,
Nice.
and push up, and then pull it back as it falls down.
Nice. And it just starts spewing blood all down your trident and all over you. But it does fall to the floor.
And then I will, seeing it drop my trident, turn to the other elk that has come up behind me, and as a bonus action, do a flurry of blows.
Okay.
So,
I'm not going to lie. I was expecting a dart to do 2 more damage. You can do flurry of blows with a monk weapon, can't you?
no, I thought it had to be unarmed. You make 2 unarmed strikes
Oh, there.
as bonus action. I was gonna say, if it makes 2 strikes with a weapon, I'll take it.
I forget. That hits.
So this first one is gonna be this, and then I'm gonna add the +6 to it.
Okay, so it's a d6, so roll a d6.
Oh, I have to roll the d6.
Yeah. So 12.
Nice.
Nice! Guess how many hit points this elk actually had?
Really?
Literally. Like, you are just getting enough hit points every time.
Wow.
So describe your first flurry of blows.
Well, as I turn, I just literally, like, give it a good left hook, and then I start punching it just rapidly with straights and jabs in its face, hoping for it to go down, and then I guess it does.
It does. You just like the first left hook sort of caves in the side of its skull slightly, and while it stood there dazed and just kind of like swaying from left to right, you just give it a couple more jabs, and it just falls over and just erupts. Make a Constitution saving throw for me now.
Yes.
With disadvantage because you physically touched it.
Yeah, damn it.
Okay. As you physically punch the thing and your fist makes contact, the slight indent you make into its skull, you feel your left hand go cold.
Oh. Okay.
You still have your other flurry of blows and you can move before you use it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Then, looking around, I see... is that baboon still alive?
A baboon is still alive.
Okay, I see a small baboon, and I'm just gonna kind of walk over, stand over it, and just punch down wildly.
Okay, make your attacks.
Oh, I don't know why that did that. Well, there we go. I can attack now.
.23 hits. I mean, yeah. 8. Nice. Where's the baboon? That one's dead. Okay, I'm gonna have to move that. So, you turn and you just like describe what punches. What's your unarmed strike look like for this?
This one is just me punching wildly downwards, hoping that I can hit this small creature basically pummel it into the ground as hard as I can. I'm not even thinking for this one, I'm just going for it now.
Nice. You sort of turn and you swing a backhand towards the baboon that's kind of hanging off the tree, and you knock it to the ground and then just like follow it with a left straight down. And while it's sort of prone on the floor, you just cave in the back of its head completely.
Why do I feel bad about that one? I didn't even pick up my trident. I'm just there, fists up, ready to punch something else, but that is my turn.
All right. The wolf, again, is going to go for Tulip with a bite. You reckless last turn, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still advantage. So 21. Make a strength saving throw for me. I forgot last time.
I rolled it last time, but I was 17,
Oh, I
think.
wasn't paying attention. You still succeed. So you take 2 points of piercing damage. No con save this time.
Okay.
It is now your turn.
And this wolf bear looks like it.
The bear looks rough.
Getting together.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I probably wouldn't do the -5, but I will obviously reckless.
Mhm.
Why not?
22. Nice.
Buddy bears. Well, now I hit a 10.
16. So, what happens is, as you swing your axe, you swing sort of sideways and it embeds into the bear's side, but the momentum of it just keeps going. And you basically just cut the wolf's head in half, but from like leaving the top half there and the bottom half just falls off. And like the residual damage just follows through. And you kill them both.
Oh, I'll take that.
Nice.
And I believe
Well, I'm just gonna
What we
Probably
ignoring
pace
the
around
big-
still a little bit, like looking for something else. So I'm just going to walk a couple of steps.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Have no idea about Alura still.
I mean, both of us don't realise.
Well, you can probably see it now because we're just like outside there.
I mean, if you move out of the way, yeah, you'll probably see me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am in a very punchy spirit.
Sorry, I'm back.
So yeah, I walked forward slightly, like still looking, making sure there's nothing else to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Oblivious to Alura being knocked down, and probably oblivious to Grant even being next to me.
Okay. 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 Make a quick perception check for me.
Do I get disadvantage if I'm raging?
Yes.
Or
Just because like you're so generally unaware of things at the moment.
yeah.
Yeah. As far as you're aware, everything seems fine.
Okay. Stay there then.
Okay. Alura, make a death save for me.
Would love to.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, indeed. Grant,
Yes.
sort of in the same vein as Tulip, kind of thinking that it's over. Suddenly, the brown bear comes from the fog and just pounces on you. And is going to go for the claws first. Thank you. Whoops, and it'll be a surprise because it's from the fog.
Is it disadvantage because he's in the fog? Or...
Well,
I would assume it would just be a normal attack because it's a surprise yet a disadvantage. So.
he has advantage on perception checks because of keen smell.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he can smell you basically.
Wait, so...
what a bitch.
I know, right? So 20 hits, and you take 9 points of slashing damage as it just comes out and just beats you sideways. Make a strength save for me. But somehow, using like your Earth Genasi roots, you literally plant your feet in the floor and are an immovable object right now.
Oh yeah, I'm a rock.
You are a rock. But that doesn't help in a way because it means that it goes in for you with its bite as well. With furious precision with a 24, it just follows up with its teeth and just wraps its mouth around you for 11 points of piercing damage.
Oh. Okay.
And then kind of this time does fling you to the side while it takes you off your feet slightly and steps forward and faces down Tulip. Grant, it is now your turn.
Yep. And I'm gonna pick myself back up because I'm assuming I'm on the ground.
Kind of, yeah.
Walk. Wrong one. Walk over, pick up my trident,
Mm-hmm.
and get as close as I can to the bear, the bit that I can see kind of poking out the fog.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stab it with my trident.
Okay.
Fuck.
Its hide is too thick, and that brutal attack kind of took you off balance a little bit too much, and you're trying to get your bearings again. And as you stab in, it just kind of bounces off the bear, releasing releasing a few spores and, scratching against mostly fungus.
Yeah. That point, I guess. So just kind of in the fight and seeing the trident didn't do anything, I'm just gonna go for a physical blow and use another key point for flurry of blows on it.
Knock it out.
That hits.
Yeah.
Kablam. Kablam.
Yeah.
8 points. Nice. Nice.
No, I apparently targeted myself. It was like, Grant can dodge this, can he? So my second one.
Second one. Nice hit. Grant's on fire today, blimey.
Yeah, it's all about my fists.
7. Okay, nice. Good turn.
And as I'm hitting it, I will kind of just shout pretty loud, enough is enough. These silly games. We don't have time for this. And then my turn.
Okay. Tulip, we come back to you. You turn round. If you turn round, there's a brown bear directly behind you, just being pummeled by Grant's fists.
I feel the hot breaths on the back of my throat, back of my neck, and turn around and like, I'm still angry. I'm still pretty angry.
Its head is like level with yours. That's how tall it is.
Okay, I see it taking a few hits from the side. I'm going reckless. I'm going for the -5 to do the +10 damage.
Yep, we're going big.
Me going, and I'm going to roll my d6 at the end of this if I hit.
Yes, you hit.
Oh.
Okay, damage. And we do. Can I do 1d6 plus 10 as my situational bonus?
Should be able to. 26. Holy shit. That was enough to kill it in one.
I wanted to use my d6. I keep forgetting about it.
I mean, that was some good damage, man. That's good damage. Well, that's not even a crit. That's just like a standard roll.
That's everything in one, though. It's like for the frustration and just.
That's what it's there
I'd like
for.
to think I'd slash down, take its head off, look left, see Grant. No, that's friendly, I think. Look right, see Alura on the floor. And I think I think my rage would fall off. I think.
Okay.
And that's what by this action I'd drop my rage and then try to help her. Because there's nothing to hit and the little one is on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're going to go and help her, make a medicine check for me.
Yeah, if I remove my rage yet?
I don't know how. Like, the status effect thing was with the other mod that just isn't working at the moment. So I don't really know how it works.
Sign status effect. I can clear all. Ooh, no, okay, didn't do a thing. Okay, I'm not raging anymore, but I'm going to help. But what am I doing? Medicine check.
Medicine check, please, yeah.
Okay.
Ignore this. I'm just going to see if it'll clear through combat. Not quite.
I almost oofed it. It was okay though.
Almost oofed it. 7. Alura, make a death save and add 7 to whatever you roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's very lucky.
Yay!
That was good.
Okay, Alura, you come back to consciousness. Slightly stable, but not necessarily up on your feet.
Think I need a rest.
Wise.
There's a lot of bodies around. Why is there a gorilla on top of you? Did we move the gorilla off of you? Landed on top of you and then like I tried and hit it and then it went collapsed on top of you.
Basically.
I will roll it off and help. Are you at 1 HP or is it how are we doing?
So you're at 1 HP. You come back to you're stabilized. So you go back to 1 HP, but like for all intents and purposes, you're not like conscious.
Yeah.
Okay, so no spells or anything.
No. And I don't think any of you have like health potions or anything. So it is now just a case of she will remain unconscious until you have until you have a long rest.
Yeah. Do we see that? Is the fog still there?
The fog's gone. I just can't get rid of it.
Okay. And that Malakir bloke is.
Malakir appears to have disappeared. Yes.
Can we have one last check as I'm like hobbling over to Tulip and Alura?
Yeah. Make a perception check or investigation, whichever you prefer.
I'll go with perception.
18. Yeah, like you have a really good look. Like the fungus is obviously still coating the floor. However, currently there doesn't seem to be anything following.
Okay.
And how long have we been going this time? Because I had 7 torches.
I think you're into your 6th hour. If I
Well,
remember
there's no
correctly.
point going on anymore, I guess. I mean, we've done a good trip. Allura probably needs a good rest. I'm a bit hurt. You look a bit
We all
ropey.
need a good rest, Tulip.
Are we going to set up camp again? But we're going to have to do long, because it'll just be me and you doing the watches this time. But there might be nothing following us now, at least. Apart from that weird thingy man, wherever he is.
Well, he seems to just be able to appear, so I don't even think if we were watching we could stop that, so I won't worry about him at the moment. Let's just try and get our strength back. That was a very intense fight.
Yeah. And I've already kind of forgotten what happened in the fight, but I'm just agreeing.
I mean, you'll probably notice like a ton of blood all over my fists from
Yes.
punching everything.
Yes.
Yeah, my axe is heavy with blood.
It's been fed.
And
Cursed weapon.
I'm not really holding my trident. I'm using it as a walking stick kind of thing, just to keep myself up at the moment.
How much HP you got left?
2.
Oh, there you are.
I was gonna go down next turn if I didn't do something.
I had 13 left, but I suppose with Rage I might have survived one more round if it hit me twice.
Yeah, that was close. That was a.
But yeah, I suppose. Do we want to do it here around all the bodies?
I can make the camp reappear.
Yeah, well, I'd say we probably, I'd pick up Allura and we'd probably move, I don't know, 30 feet further away, I guess.
Yeah.
Using one of my last 2 torches or whatever, and then use that to start the fire with whatever we can just muster together. Enough for a night or 8 hours. Well, maybe longer, because we have to do longer watches. So I don't know if Allura's going to come up halfway after 6 hours. Would she then get up and then be able to, or she have to have the full 8 hours? I don't know. So I guess maybe one of us tries to wake her after the second one. See how she is.
I think maybe we'll see how she looks throughout the night. Otherwise, I'm happy to do a full 4 hours if needed.
Yeah. Well, we can do 4 hours, then sleep, then 4 hours. If it takes 12 hours for the night or the rest, I guess it is what it is. Plus, we probably need a longer rest, because what's the time? If we got up in the morning and we've been going 6 hours, it's probably only 4 or so at the moment.
Yeah, it's not that late in the day at all.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to give her a good sleep, and then we just chill for the night a bit, maybe anyway. So, well, my for some reason my blood's pumping quite a lot, and I don't know if I'll be able to sleep right yet. So I will take the first watch.
Okay.
I'll just plop. That's the wrong one. I'll plop Allura in her bedroll.
All right.
Thank you.
And eat some food. I guess I'll probably heat some food up as well, whatever we've got, if we've got anything left.
Yeah, just sort of make a nice meal instead of rations.
Yeah, maybe that'll help us rest or
Okay.
heal up faster. We don't know.
Makes perfect sense to me. So Alura gets sort of carried over, put into her bed. It's still daytime as far as you can tell. There's enough of a clearing in the sky that you can see the sky and you can just about see the glow of the world tree still in the direction you were heading, so you were going in the right direction. And as everything settles down, the adrenaline calms down, and both Alura has her is still unconscious but breathing, if a little raggedly, and Grant settles down. Tulip, you start making some food, setting up the campfire so that again it emanates heat for the 30-foot radius essentially. And just making sure that everything is hunky-dory. Roll perception for me. Kind of distracted by making food.
Yep.
Not much is going on, although the food is top quality.
That's what we needed after that.
Exactly. It's not like a really fancy special meal, but it's cooked beautifully. Even if you do say so yourself.
I would.
4 hours pass, and for the first time in literally about 2.5 days, you don't feel like you're being followed. You don't feel like you're being watched. There's actual peace and quiet.
And that bird hasn't been singing again. That seems to be following us.
Currently, no.
I know I got a 3, but I'm going to ask anyway.
No, you don't see it. Although
It doesn't land on a tent again.
no, you do notice, however, the distinct lack of wildlife. Like all the other forests you've ever been in, and you've been in quite a fair few, teeming with life. Birds, insects, general wildlife. This is empty to the extreme. Dead silent. The only sound you can hear is the crackling of the fire and your friends snoring. Speaking of what you can hear, that's the wrong music. But your watch passes, and it's time for Grant.
Grant, yeah.
By the time you've had enough of a watch for Grant to take his turn, it's now turned to darkness. Grant,
Yes.
you're woken up by Tulip, who immediately just pops off asleep. Has left you some food, I assume. I think. Prepared, but it's gone cold, but it's still fairly nice. And you settle in for your watch. Anything you'd like to do?
No, I'd probably just clean my trident and check my blowgun just to make sure it's clear and hopefully still on target.
Okay.
Keep up the maintenance of them, basically.
Mm-hmm. Roll a perception check for me. Seems clear. Very little sound. No sound, in fact.
I swear I just heard birds.
I just realised that I could turn it off. No sound. Just silence. Tulip, snoring a little bit. Alura, really snoring. She's got like proper, bad snoring. Should probably get that looked at. Nah, she's like raggedly breathing. It seems like she's maybe broken a rib or two.
Got some gorilla stuck up her nose still after the
Yeah,
fight.
there's a bit of fur like hanging out, and there's maybe a tooth embedded somewhere.
Oh no.
But other than that, she seems healthy. But nothing stands out as unusual.
Okay.
How long are you resting for in total, by the way? You're just going to sleep, like, rest through the night?
I guess, yeah, we could just take
Yeah, that was kind of the idea.
4-hour shifts, I guess. Because I guess it'll just build up that we'd probably slept enough through the night, I guess.
Okay.
If it works that way.
Yeah, that's fine. Towards the end of your first watch, Grant, you sort of see Allura twitch and shift in her bed.
Okay.
Not waking up, but staying, sort of like turning over to sleep instead of being unconscious. So if you wanted to, you could try and wake her up and see how she is, or you can leave her to it.
I will go over and have a look to see how badly hurt she is, or damaged she is. In a
Okay.
sense, rather than trying to wake her up, I just want to kind of inspect her.
Okay, making a medicine check for me. Alright. Just from a cursory glance, without getting too invasive, you can see she has at least one fractured rib that is sticking out, like poking out even through her. Like, it's literally dislodging her armor slightly. And she seems to have a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, as soon as I notice that, I'll go walk over to Tulip and give him a nudge
Okay.
and just say, oh, Laura's not great. You may want to take the next watch and then wake me up again after however long you want to stay up for.
Okay. How much longer do you think until it's sunny?
It's
Or a
only
bit of light.
realistically just gone dark, so
Yeah, you're about 4 hours
while.
into the night. So at this point, it's going to be around 11 o'clock.
Okay, if we do the same again, then we should be about breakfast time.
Breakfast.
And that'll be your turn, I think, Grant, because then if I do this and then I go to bed, then you can start breakfast. And when I wake up, I've had breakfast. And then I'll just start walking around
Okay.
in the area.
Yeah.
I'll probably peek at Allura as well.
Okay.
Not a medicine check real heavy, but just peeking my head over.
Just making sure she's
Yeah.
okay.
She's definitely breathing. Okay.
Yeah, definitely breathing. All right. So your second watch, much like the first, passes seemingly without a problem. And if actually do you make a quick perception check? This isn't for like the watch. This is for something specific.
We're gonna say sinister then. Thanks.
Something so sinister. 11. About 2 hours into your second watch, the bird arrives again.
Oh.
Doesn't
I'm trying to pet it.
You're gonna try and pet it?
Yeah, I won't feed it this time because last time it seemed to fly around all woozy last time. But I'm gonna try to stroke it.
Okay. You go over and kind of reach your hand out, and there's a moment of like recoiling, but then as you kind of start scratching it behind its back, behind its neck, it just starts to kind of, oh, that's actually quite nice.
I'm gonna call you Cooper. Because you like coppery and it's close enough.
Okay. All right.
Just chill out and watch for the rest of the night.
Along with your companion of Cooper, you watch for the rest of your shift, and takes you to 3 o'clock in the morning, essentially. Not quite enough to get light through, so it's still dark, but it's enough, you know. You can feel the morning. Does that make sense? Like, you can tell that you're getting to a point where it's nearly daytime.
But no animals are waking up or anything?
No animals are waking up. No.
Cool. I'm going to do the same again. There's nudge Grant. So don't forget about breakfast in a couple of hours.
Don't forget about breakfast.
And that's Cooper over there, by the way. And I pointed the bird.
Okay.
And then go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I'm probably just gonna break one of my rations of bread in half and then like kind of put the other down the side of me for now Cooper in case he wants it, and then eat my half.
All right. Cooper eyes it up and then sort of flutters over and sits next to you. Just start pecking at it, like taking small bites, but doesn't seem too keen.
Yeah, sorry, Cooper. It's a little bit old. But bread's still bread.
Bread's still bread. Truer words have never been spoken.
You can quote me.
Bread's still bread. Love it. Make a perception check for me.
Great.
Your watch passes. The sun starts rising. Gets to about the time when you think, maybe I should start making breakfast.
Well, see, this is the thing, as a monk, where everything is very limited, I will go around and in front of Tulip, put one of my pieces of bread. In front of Alura, put one of my pieces of bread. And then I will sit down back in my spot with a piece of bread.
I mean, bread's still bread, right?
Yeah, bread is bread. Bread's still bread. As people are getting up, explain, right, breakfast is served. Enjoy.
Okay.
Oh. Thank you. I think it's too polite to moan about it. Just eat it.
Alura, you hear Grant kind of say, right, breakfast is served, and you wake with like a start of pain just racking through your body. Your chest feels like it's on fire, and like you're struggling to breathe, and your shoulder, as you try and move into a more comfortable position, is just agony. Your left shoulder, I should say.
Okay.
But you are conscious, you are awake, you can...
If I try to cure wounds on myself,
Mm-hmm.
do I need to try and fandangle with the bone before? Like,
So-
I don't I don't remember like the exact wording of it.
You've had a long rest now.
Mhm.
So you're back to full hit points.
Okay.
The lingering injuries are just something that you as a practitioner of medicine would have to deal with yourself.
Right, okay. Okay. In that case then, I don't think I'm going to try and sit up. I think what I'm going to do is just like lie there and try to figure out like, are my fingers still working? Are my toes still working? You know, things like that.
Okay. Roll a medicine check on yourself
Mhm.
with advantage because this is just a, does everything still work check. 18. Nice. You wiggle your fingers of your right hand. Everything works. Fling the wrist around. Still works. You can just about get your left hand to move and the fingers on your left hand to move. Pain. Lots of pain.
Mhm.
Your toes, ankles, legs, all working. It's just your chest and your left shoulder are the core and cause of most of your pain.
Okay.
There's about 5% that's caused by the emotional damage of being like having a gorilla drop on you.
Yeah.
But other than that, 95% is the physical pain of having a broken rib and a dislocated shoulder.
Okay. Can I make myself sit up?
With great perseverance, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll sit up then.
Mm-hmm. The other two of you just watch Alura sit up, and you can physically see that she is in agony. Just pain racked through her.
I'm going to walk over and I'm going to look down at her and I want to size up if I think she's going to be heavy with the armor and such.
You know how heavy she is, roughly.
I feel like I could carry it to bed, yeah.
Yeah. Heavier than
Okay.
she looks.
But not too heavy for a big burly half-orc barbarian, hopefully.
Not that you'd let anyone know.
Okay. Do you think you can walk, Alura? Or, I mean, I could try to carry you. Because you're not as big as me, so it should be okay.
As we've been walking through the fungus, we wouldn't be moving at like normal speed, would we? We'd be a bit slow.
A bit slower, yeah.
So in my injured state, would I still be able to keep up at that point, do I think?
It's difficult to say. It's so difficult to breathe that
Right.
it's quite possible that you'd just fall behind because you wouldn't be able to breathe as well enough to keep up. That sentence
Okay.
didn't really make sense, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I'll say that to Tulip then. I'll say, I don't think I'll be able to go now.
Alright. Well, I mean, I can give you a piggyback. I mean, it should be okay. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be fine. And then if you need to do any spells, you can just do them off my back.
I don't think I'd be able to ride on your back either. It's my ribs,
Ah,
so kind of in the way.
right. Well, we could make a stretcher or...
Could I,
Yeah.
what's vestments? That's just like a fancy word for clothes, isn't it?
Yes.
Can I rip that up and use that as bandages to try and like bind my chest a little bit to like support, you know?
What about on my shoulders? That shouldn't aggravate ribs, would it?
I mean, you could, yes. However, they are clothes that are closely related to your religious doings.
It says I have common clothes. Can I wear my vestments and take off my common clothes?
Yes, that would be the preferable way of doing it for you. Just because of, like, the connotations of what your vestments are
Yeah.
and what they represent, it would be
Okay.
probably a bit blasphemous. Sacrilege, yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'll do that then. I'll take a while to take off my armor, get changed, and like try and bandage myself up a little bit underneath my armor.
Makes total sense. 100%. So, with great difficulty, you sort of get yourself changed, you get dressed in your common clothes. Again, try and put your armor on over it. No, you get dressed in your vestments, take your common clothes off, put your armor over it, and start after ripping up your common clothes and kind of tightly bandaging your ribs together. It's absolute agony, and it's not much easier to breathe, but it does keep them somewhat supported. Make a medicine check for me.
Can I guidance it, please? Oh.
Well, the shoulder's a bit more difficult. It's you really do struggle to get it in the right place to just yank it back in. After 2 failed attempts, you do manage it, and it goes back in. You let out a bit of a yelp because it hurts a lot.
Yes.
But it does go back in. It settles back in. You can move it. Still hurts. Probably some tendon and ligament damage, but you'll deal with that later. Get yourself dressed. Get yourself ready for the day. It's kind of at that point, kind of unexpectedly, that the starling that's been kind of keeping you company, Cooper, flies up and off the tent that it's been sat on while you were all getting ready, and then just morphs into the tall copper dragonborn that you know as Nismo, standing, staring at the 3 of you. What? Hello.
Where the hell have you been?
Well, you fed me something and I wasn't too keen on it. It didn't do me much good, so I had to wait for that to wear off, and then I went off to do some scouting ahead, and by the time I got back, you'd already been attacked, and so then I followed Malakir to where I think his base is. And then I came back, and then you were all sleeping, so I just let you sleep and kept watch with you. And now you seem like you're ready to go, so I'm here with you.
We really needed your help yesterday.
I disagree. I think you held your own quite well.
I nearly died.
Nearly.
Alura's going to ignore him.
Wow. Silent treatment. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to him and well, it's been nice that you've kept an eye on us, but why all of a sudden introduce yourself now?
I just wanted to let you know that I think I found Malakir's hideout, and now that you all seem to be ready to leave, I was wondering whether you'd want to go there or continue to the World Tree.
I mean, you told Alura, who told us that we need to go to the World Tree, so...
Indeed, but you gave Malakir one hell of a beating, and... Well,
we didn't even fight him, we fought his minions.
Yes, and now he has fewer minions, so he's regrouping.
Well, I am ready Tulip seems okay, but Alura here is struggling to even stand, let alone walk anywhere. We're not moving anywhere fast with her currently.
If we stop Malakir, do we stop the world tree being hurt? Do we get rid of all this fungus?
That depends on what Malakir's ultimate goal is, but it's possible.
And he
Well-
keeps talking about this fungus queen, or the queen, or join her.
You're right, Tulip. He did mention a she who was in charge, so there's someone higher than him.
But maybe without him it still all stops. But he did say about us being servants.
A queen, you say?
Did he say queen? I don't know if he said queen or she.
Some
I
kind.
know he said she, but
She, maybe.
Well, she's a bit vague, but I don't know who he could potentially mean, but I can try and find out.
I mean, if we get to the world tree, what if no one's even there? Like, we want to get there to stop that Malakir, but if he's going to be somewhere else, then we're just going to go there and wait for him, though? It kind of makes sense to go to where he is now, if that's the plan.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. If we go to the world tree, or if you go to the world tree, I feel like that is his ultimate goal. It seems to be where the fungus is spreading in the direction of. Most quickly anyway, it's spreading everywhere, but it's heading towards the world tree quicker. Then maybe that's his plan, and get there and we can wait for us to stop him. Or we can divert half a day to his hideout and try and cut him off there.
so you found his base and it's half a day away. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
And how far is the Will Tree from our current location?
We still have 2 days travel from here.
Now, taking him on would be the better option.
That's what I think. I mean, I don't want to fight, but I think we have to, you know?
Well, he's destroying everything for no real reason, so we gotta put a stop to him for make the world a better place.
I mean, yeah, but look, Alura's still injured. I feel a bit unwell from this fungus stuff. I don't know how good we're gonna.
Apart from my fist, I'm fine.
Didn't you cure Alura once already?
Have you been infected with the fungus too?
I think a little bit got in me.
And I've definitely touched the fungus, having to fight the creatures.
Well, in that case, my first piece of advice to you all would be, please be a bit more careful. I can help you, but it's expensive to me. Who got infected first?
That would be Tulip.
Yeah, I think it was me the other day.
Very well. I can only do this once a day.
That is fine. He's the one that actually ingested the spores. I've only been in and touched them so far.
I mean, unless you need to save stuff, if you're going to help us.
He reaches out and touches you on the shoulder, and you just feel like a pulse of warmth through your body. And that kind of overwhelming lethargy just almost immediately dissolves and leaves you feeling just like a lot looser and more free.
Oh,
All of the negative effects are over.
I feel much better now. Thank you.
That's okay. But like I said, please be a bit more careful.
I'll try.
There's only so
Kinda
much I can
hard.
do.
It's hard when I get a little bit, I think, angry in a fight, and it's hard to not remember things, you know. Not really a fighter, not really.
It's not what I've seen, but I understand.
But I've
Hey,
got a flute. This is
We're,
what I like to do.
we're only doing this to stay alive and protect what we love, so we're not going to go out our way looking for a fight. But
It's very wise.
Malachi, if he's the exception and could be the start of the end, it's our best option to go for him now.
Very well. I can need you there.
Is there any way you can help with Alura? Because she is in a lot of pain at the moment.
He comes over and inspects you. It appears you've got a broken rib and a recently healed dislocated shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
Here, take this. And he just holds out a handful of berries. Different to Tulip's berries. These ones look a little bit ethereal.
Mm-hmm.
But also appealing. They've got a kind of greenish red hue to them.
Okay.
If you eat one, you will be, fed for the rest of the day.
I'll take them and I'll just put them in like one of the pockets of my backpack.
You may have one.
Okay, I take one.
Two, actually. There's enough for two. Sorry.
I take what I'm allowed to take.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it in one of the pockets.
Okay. He offers two to the other two as well. And you are, and then just sort of starts walking away in the direction that he's leading you in. Follow me, friends.
Yeah. Well,
Are we supposed to eat these now, or?
If you eat them now or later, it matters not.
Okay, I'll eat one, I think.
Alright. You regain 1 hit point, but you're also nourished for the rest of the day.
Not being funny, Grant, but this is a little bit more filling than your breakfast.
no. No,
And,
I don't believe it.
and I'll follow whichever way you go.
Berry
Yeah,
be more filling than bread.
Well, so is Alura okay now, or still?
I wouldn't say okay, but she's capable of walking.
Well, I would have thought that I would be by the side of Alura, like, kind of just there if she wobbles, or trying to hold her up. She seems like she's struggling.
Okay. Nismo leads ahead. He seems to have, instead of torches, he seems to be using cantrips. He's using spells to produce flames that kind of keep expanding and removing the fungus in enough of a trail for you to follow. He seems to have this pattern down where he produces the flames, they spread along the floor. He takes about 10 steps, produces them again. It's well rehearsed, and he seems to be good at it. And then, unless there's anything you wish to do, 4 hours pass. And if I can find the right map. Yes, nice.
As we are walking and following him, I will give Alura one of my berries and say, "Here, take this. You need it more than I do."
I have some, don't worry.
No, honestly, I don't need these. You take it. And kind of just sort of forcefully put in her hand.
Okay.
You know that, like, when you're handing money to someone that doesn't want the money, but you're trying to offer it to them, so...
Can't say I've ever experienced that.
Have you not? Oh, it's amazing.
Okay, Alura will take it. She's going to make sure that Nismo can't see her, and she's going to eat it.
Okay. Again, you regain a hit point. If you haven't lost any, but you regain a hit point, and you are nicely nourished for the rest of the day.
Cool.
You eventually arrive on a sort of very rocky, small, cliffy area, and the fungus here is like really overgrown. There seems to be some kind of epicenter that you're walking through basically 4 foot tall, basically what would be essentially a snowdrift, just layered upon each other, and the smell, it's almost like you can taste it on the back of your tongue, in the back of your mouth. It's vile, and the air is thick. The spores are just floating around freely, like you're all having to cover your mouths with whatever cloths and all sorts you can find to basically just be makeshift masks. Nismo is doing the same. He's got his mouth and nose and everything completely covered to try and protect from the spores, which don't seem to be small enough to get through the fabric of the cloths you're covering yourself with. And you kind of step forward to here, and ahead of you is a small clearing with basically just like small bushes of just fungus that have grown all over the place, and a cave entrance that, while still clearly an entrance, seems to be almost pulsing and seems to have like a sort of like a film layer in front of it, but like translucent enough that you can just about see through it.
Why didn't we put these cloth things over our face beforehand? That would have saved a lot of problems.
We didn't have any before.
Or like any clothes, I guess, work, wouldn't they?
At the time, we kind of didn't even know what they were, so... You are right, this would have been helpful.
It's okay. Your characters didn't just go through a global pandemic where it was kind of required. So it's
No
not
one talks about that.
it's not the first thing they think of.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any movement in the clearing, especially, but from inside the cave you can hear chanting.
Guessing we're going inside there.
Do we want to stealth in? Because if he doesn't know we're going for him and he thinks we're still going for the world tree, we do have advantage right now.
We could always see if we can collapse the cave. Maybe there's not another way out, and then what's he gonna do? I don't know how we do that, unless you've got magic that can do that.
Well, I'm not magic, and I definitely don't have enough firepower to collapse a cave.
Nismo, what do you think?
I don't think it's a bad idea to potentially try. I'm not sure if there's another exit somewhere else that they can get out of, but it's worth a try.
Can't Alec just teleport?
Maybe.
I
guess.
I don't think he can teleport. I think he can. Well, shape like me.
Oh. So that's why we've not been seeing him get away.
That would explain it, yes.
Well, maybe we just go and just try to fight him, and if we have to run away, I don't know. If there's another exit, the whole idea is to beat him now, isn't it? So, I guess...
I'll give us all stealth. We can go in, and if worst comes to worst, we'll do your idea, Tulip.
Yeah, I don't know how we do it, but we could try. If we have to
Alura,
run away.
do you have any ideas on blowing up a cave?
Nothing that I can help with, no.
Yeah. I assumed you might have said that. Well, we only have one thing to do now. Enter. Nismo, are you coming with us?
I can come with you. I can also help in that department. I can cast the same spell as you and gain twice the benefit.
Spell as me?
Yes.
Oh. Yes, my earth spell. I was thinking about blowing up a cave then. I was like, I still can't do that.
Neither can I, but I can help you get
Right.
inside and potentially help you while inside.
I will agree to that, and I will then use Pass Without a Trace.
Alright. Nismo will also use Pass Without Trace. So, all four will get plus 20 to stealth checks for the next hour.
Nice.
So, what's the
I suppose
plan?
we still need Nismo to kind of be in front to burn the fungus away.
Okay.
Just until we're in an area where there is no more, and then we will happily take the charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nismo finds a safe way down from this small cliff. Again, clearing the fungus as he goes. It's routine at this point.
Yeah.
Going slowly. Everyone roll stealth for me.
My lucky 13.
Plus 20.
Yeah.
So 27 for me.
27,
Got 34.
34, 32, 29. Okay. I mean, that's alright, I suppose. I suppose. The four of you slowly, very slowly, creep along, fungus being cleared as you go, making your way to the entrance of the cave. Nismo stops about 10 feet away from the entrance, give or take. You can see the small, like the very thin film of fungus across the entrance of the door. And it just stops. That gives me pause. I fear if we touch it, it might set an alarm off. Is anyone... And he kind of kneels down, and these flies that are sort of flitting around here, they don't seem to be infected. But Nismo kind of kneels down and starts whispering to them. And then as he stands up, all of them just go charging at the film of sort of fungal film across the door, and then they just sort of get stuck, and immediately you just hear bzz, 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 as they all just start freaking out that they're basically stuck like spiderweb, like cobweb.
Yeah.
And the chanting from inside the cave stops. And you can... Everyone make perception checks for me.
I'm guidancing this one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Great. Alura, you hear the footsteps, but it takes Nismo to point out that you can hear voices. Before you can start to hear them, you can't make out what they're saying. And Nismo, annoyingly with the highest roll, just starts saying, "They're coming this way. They think
we need to hide.
they've got something caught in a trap. We need to hide." Exactly. And he just starts making his way this way, clearing some of the fungus and trying to keep it clear. Disappears into the stone.
He goes into the stone.
As in, like, with stupid high stealth checks like you've all rolled.
Oh, okay.
Basically, you know, you're not going to struggle to be hidden.
We blend in with the wall.
You blend in with the wall. About 30 seconds pass. Keeping up with the fire to make sure that the fungus clears. And then Malakir himself appears at the entrance to the cave. Behind the film, he looks. Flies. And he looks around suspiciously, eyes not settling on one spot for anything more than like a split second. And he slinks back a step, and as he does, his whole body just shrinks into some kind of small creature that you can't quite make out around the corner. And you lose sight of him. And we're going to end the session there for this week.
Ooh. I wasn't sure if I should just rush out and try to smack him now, but
I was like, would it be great for me just to lob my trident, or would that be certain death?
I feel like it would just get stuck in whatever the cobweb thing is.
Good job, guys. You didn't die.
Woohoo!
Jeez.
Almost. Oh my god.
It was tense. Even for me.
I've been anxious for the last like 3 hours.
I'm so sorry. Well.
No,
You know-
it's been a good session again though.
I think that was a really good session. Thank you
It
for playing,
really
everyone.
was.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for
No,
watching.
cheers for DMing.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Last week's episode will be uploaded tonight onto YouTube, ready for tomorrow.
Nice.
And then I think I'm just going to stick to like the following Wednesday, as in like a week on Wednesday afterwards. Just because he needs an upload schedule, right? But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good session. Good session this week. A lot happened.
Yeah, had a lot in and out, a lot of different things.
It was a big fight. That was a big fight, but it could have been worse. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. Right. Same time next week.
Yep.
Same time next week.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
Me too.
Right then. Let's see if I can find someone to raid. Because, as we all know, I'm really bad at that. Oh my god. What is this, Opera? What are you doing to me? Let's go and raid these people. I haven't raided them for a while. So we'll go /raid. Blah, 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 blah. That's not how you spell that.
You're so good at this.
You know, I once did a raid after a session of Scales and misspelt the name and ended up somewhere completely wrong. And Yathina was like, why haven't we raided them? Why haven't we raided them? And it's because I'm just stupid, basically. But no, I'm pretty sure that's right. So we're going to go raid these people. And let's go say hi. We'll see you next week for episode 5 of Grip of the Fungal Queen. And we'll see what shenanigans these guys can get up to this time. Goodbye, everyone.